Now we're excited to move into lightning talks from the tech teams that focus on these challenges. First, I'll hand it over to Colin from USAHello to talk about their approach to this challenge in providing aid to refugees and asylum seekers. Over to you, Colin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Colin Stevens with USAHello. We're an online center for trustworthy information and education for refugees, asylum seekers, immigrants, and their welcoming communities. Our organization was born out of the idea that newcomers, like everyone else, rely on the internet for information. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of information out there that directed specifically towards refugees. And there's also a lot of misinformation. What we strive to do is translate our platform into multiple language and provide it in English that's targeted for English language learners. Our site has been used by over 1 million people since 2019. We have a main site with hundreds of resource articles, a free online classroom for GED and citizenship courses, and our resource finder app, Untitled, that we chose to focus on as a part of the Opportunity Project. It's a hybrid app that is accessible through your web browser or in the Apple or Android stores. We have a database of over 4,000 resources in 200 cities across the country. And the app is live and already helping people connect with resources. A specific user journey we were able to collect over the last month was a young man named Emmanuel who fled civil war in Cameroon and was recently granted asylum. Emmanuel had recently moved to Silver Spring to try to start his new life there, and needed to connect with resources to apply for a social security card and work permit. We were able to connect Emmanuel with the app and find him resources right where he was living in Silver Spring, and drill down to be able to connect him directly to IRC Silver Spring using the app. Through the Opportunity Project, we've also been able to develop some amazing partnerships with SAS and the Catholic Community Services of Southern Arizona's Casa Elitis program. With Casa Elitis, we've been able to develop a feedback network of orgs and users on the southern border. We've been able to map the Refugee Processing Center database, RAPSNet, against our current database and look for areas that we were missing resources or needed to shore them up. We were also able to review and add resources in key states across the country where we saw a need based on that feedback. We were also able to partner with SAS as a tech partner, which allowed us to install their analytics tags on our platform, which allows us to collect advanced metrics without requiring our users to log in. This kind of helps us get around the trust barrier while keeping users' data still anonymous. The SAS platform is amazing, allows us to do dynamic data collection, capture data as it's seen in the browser, really easy drag and drop analytics that will allow us to continue to monitor our platform in the future and really provide new ways to help immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers. Again, some just great out-of-the-box analytics flow through our platform. So this is going to be a great tool for us and a great partnership moving forward. Looking ahead, we're hoping to expand our network of shelters and organizations that use the app. It's clear to us through this process that it's very important that this app be in the hands of the shelters and placement services to get it into the hands of refugees, immigrants, and asylum seekers. It's the way it's going to be most effective. We're also looking to find partners to keep resources updated and relevant locally across the country, and always looking to find new tech partners and investors to help improve the effectiveness of the app. So thanks for your time and your interest.
Thank you so much, Colin. That was really great to see your work. And it's also really neat to see that you've already been doing this work and we're able to integrate more data into your product through the Opportunity Project. So next, I'll hand it over to Chris from Graphicacy to begin their presentation.
Thank you. So what we're presenting today is what we call the Resettled Refugees Service and Data Explorer. My name is Chris Lanou, and I am the Director of Engineering and Innovation at Graphicacy. So Graphicacy is a data visualization and design company based in Washington, DC and Brooklyn that focuses on building custom visualizations and design and mapping solutions for a variety of clients, mostly in the nonprofit space. For the Opportunity Project, we took on the challenge of creating a tool that will help connect resettled refugees with resources and vital services, as well as give them a view of the landscape of resettled refugees in the United States. The tool that we built was the Resettled Refugee Services and Data Explorer. And what you're seeing here is when you visit the website, what we have is a map of the last decade in terms of where refugees have resettled in the United States. And we give you a glimpse of the top cities. And again, in addition to a map with circles showing the number of arrivals by the different cities. And you can scroll through the different years to get a better understanding of what has happened over time, in addition to viewing all years at the same time. What we have done here is we've partnered with UNHCR as well as Mapbox to tackle this challenge. And what we found is that there is a lot of data out there for resettled refugee services, but a lot of it is kind of hard and difficult to parse through without technical, scripting skills. So we kind of tackled this in a good user experience. What we did was we used this data to solve a specific problem we had that the resettled refugees have. So we took RAPSNet, which is a data set from the US State Department that processes and tracks the movements of refugees around the world to the United States. And we also took the Charity Navigator data set, which is an unbiased source of information for nonprofit organizations around the United States. And we combined those two to give users the ability to explore these complex and large data sets. And what we want to focus on today are two user journeys. The first user journey is somebody who has resettled to a specific city or area in the United States, and they are interested in identifying the charitable resources in their area. So what we do is we provide them the ability to search for a city in their vicinity or state, and then get a deeper glimpse into that city in terms of what refugees have come from or come into that city, as well as the resources within a certain radius of that specific city. And again, as partnering with Mapbox, we were able to use their geocoding tools as well as their geospatial analysis to identify these areas quickly within these large data sets. The second user journey that we kind of explored was this Resettlement Explorer, where we could identify and explore cities around the United States that might be some similar makeup to the one that you as a resettled refugee might have ended up in. So what we were able to do is break it apart by country of origin and kind of filter the map based on different countries that may be of interest to you. So let's say you're from Cuba or El Salvador, you could specify those countries, and the map would update in real time to show you the different areas around the country where refugees from those countries have resettled to. So it might give you a better understanding of what the makeup of the United States looks like for you. For the future, we've been, similar to other companies, we've installed analytics tools on our platform to better understand what the users look like. We look into Hotjar, which helps us provide a user experience for everyone who's visited the site in terms of a heat map, so we can see which parts of the tool are making sense to individuals, which parts are difficult, what are they clicking on, what do they not get to in their user journey, and we can kind of explore that without sitting over their shoulders. In addition, we found that it's great to be able to filter by country of origin, but we'd also like to filter by primary language, whether it be French, Urdu, any language around the world. So instead of a country of origin, it might be a language that you speak, as well as adding iconography to some of the resources, so that if you're not able to read English or it's not your first language, you're able to identify icons a little bit cleaner to navigate you to those websites. What we hope to do in the future is to open source this tool so that anyone around the world can add to it and make it better, add data, and kind of make it just an open platform to improve upon it. But right now it's hosted on GitHub pages, so it's free for everyone to use, and it can be hosted in perpetuity so that anyone can use this for years to come. And thank you. And this is the link for the website as it stands right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. That was really great to see your product. Next, we'll hand it over to Pooja and Nicole from Georgetown to hear about the work that they did.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Dan, and I'm representing a team from Georgetown and Columbia University. Today, we're going to present our product, Refugee Assist. Imagine that you're a refugee, resettling in an unfamiliar place where you might not speak the language or know anyone. You know that medical, legal, and childcare resources exist, but you just need help connecting with them. These resources also want to connect with refugees. How can refugees find resources in their community? Refugees might not speak English or have access to broadband, making it difficult to find resources. Existing solutions might require too much maintenance to be sustainable over time. So this is how we came up with our solution. Using federal data from Broadband USA, we found that broadband availability and access to devices are still major issues in the US. So we decided that we needed both an app and a hotline. The app is easier to maintain than existing solutions because it's based on open source data. Refugees who have access to broadband and a device can use our app, or they can call the hotline where an operator will use the app to connect them with the resource they're looking for. We decided on priority languages for the hotline by looking at RapsNet data on which countries refugees come from. Our priority languages will be French, Russian, Burmese, Chinese, Spanish, Pashto, Farsi, and Dari. Now turning it over to Pooja Vora on our user research team.
Thanks, Nicole. So let's put this into a real world context. Let's say you're resettled in San Diego now, and you're looking for a pediatrician nearby. From our research and interviews with user advocates in the field, we realized that not all refugees are proficient in English when they arrive. And so we set out to think of a product that would serve as a universal language and allow any refugee, regardless of where you came from, to look up a service that they need. This is how we eventually settled on a pictorial tool, the main idea behind it being accessibility and ease of use. We want the website to be as simple for you to use so that you can find whatever you're looking for, in this example, pediatrician, as easily and as quickly as possible. The easy to identify icons allow the user to immediately pick out the service they are looking for. Now that you've clicked on that icon, you are then taken to the next page where the nearest pediatrician office will automatically populate based on your location. Further, organizations who wish to be included will be thoroughly vetted, and we also have a page for them to register and sign up to be included in the OpenStreetMap data, which is generating the auto population locations. And so this adds a trust factor, giving you a peace of mind that you're going to a reliable and trusted service. Alternatively, let's say that you don't have access to the internet or you just prefer to speak to someone in your native language. Our product also allows you to call the hotline number where you have the option to pick your language of choice and then be able to speak to someone in the area that is using the website to help you find the pediatrician's office near you. And so Refugee Assist puts the needs of refugees first and helps them easily locate services around their area. With dual options of a website and a hotline service, Refugee Assist ensures that every refugee, no matter their location, internet accessibility, or language preference, receives the service they need from hundreds of trusted organizations. And so our next steps are that we would like to partner with investors or tech companies to get our product off the ground and running. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Nicole and Pooja. That was an amazing presentation. Really great to see your work on this product. Next, we'll hear from a few teams that worked on the HUD problem statement related to helping families move towards economic self-sufficiency. First, I'll hand it over to Jim from Ops One to hear about their approach to this challenge. Over to you, Jim.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Hill. I'm the CEO of Organizational Performance Systems in Los Altos, California, the heart of the Silicon Valley. And I'm here today to introduce you to the Envision app, the web-based tool for breaking the cycle of generational poverty. We're pleased to have done this project in conjunction with HUD and the Census Bureau. And what we've created is a mobile path to economic self-sufficiency. The challenge that's facing the nation is massive, and that is the current approaches to helping break the cycle of poverty are not having the desired impact. There's 200 federal programs, $1.1 trillion spent annually over decades, and again, no meaningful impact. We started this by collaborating with hundreds of people across the United States in opportunity zones, in Envision Centers, in public housing agencies, and want to thank all of those people for helping us out through this journey. What we learned is that the poor have little cash, no credit, no collateral. So what the Envision app does is it equips people for success by transforming their commitment, their action, and their trust into a new form of credit and collateral that is recognized by banks, merchants, employers, and others. The human impact of what we're tackling here is massive. Through the Envision app, we can reduce the poverty rate to 5% by 2025. That is from 10.5% today. So almost in half in just 4 years. The national impact is even greater. Over a 10-year period, we can create $100 billion in new income and reduce the strain on communities and local services like police and fire protection, substance abuse programs, the healthcare system, etc. And we can also impact by 1.8 trillion other program efficiencies that can be used elsewhere in the national need. So what I'd like to do is introduce you to Julius. She's a single mother. She has a number of stressors in her life associated with food, housing, and child care. She enters into the Envision app and she does some quick assessments, 5 to 8 items in each of the areas she's concerned about. If she needs it in another language, it's available to her. And through her responses in the assessments, she's presented with a number of opportunities in relationship to her home, hundreds of things in every community. As she selects the items that are of interest to her, those become items on a to-do list. And as she accomplishes those items, whether it's establish a bank account, contact a child care center, whatever it might be, she earns points in the system. And those points can be redeemed for certain rewards that local rewards providers have made available to her and others, whether it's a subscription to a newspaper, a ride share, a gas card, whatever it is. If she finds that she needs help over the course of her journey, mentors and coaches are available to her. There's hundreds in the system already, and we expect thousands more very soon. And life for Julia gets better, a lot better. Our next steps are to work alongside funders and early adopters that believe in this mission, to register service and rewards providers via the early adopters' local networks, and then to open the Envision app to the participants, those end users in need. The way ahead for us is to invest in irreversible momentum. We have to be sure the app is available for people when they need it. Again, through that investment, we'll achieve a poverty rate of 5 by 25, and we'll impact millions of people's lives for the better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Again, really amazing to see the work that you've done, and especially really amazing to see how you've brought together all these different community collaborators and really thought about the larger ecosystem of this challenge. So thank you so much, and really excited to see where we can take this work further. Finally, I'll hand it over to Daniel from Julius Education to talk about their approach to this challenge from a workforce angle. Over to you, Daniel.
Thanks, Radhika. I'm Daniel Goldsmith from Julius Education. Julius is a workforce education company that focuses on the needs of frontline workers. We like to think of ourselves as mission critical skills for mission critical people. And we're very excited to join the Opportunity Project this year to help take aim at the economic self-sufficiency for low-income families challenge. As we understood the challenge, it was really about creating a digital collaboration platform that enabled low-income families to holistically assess their needs and connect with the best resources. At Julius, we interpreted that to mean accomplishing 3 critical items. The first was career exploration. inspiration, helping learners navigate what job tracks are available to them and how those jobs could span into careers. The second was understanding the knowledge, skills, and attributes needed at each step along their career path. And third was helping them identify and get on job and career-specific learning paths. Pulled all together, we think of this as the Career Journey Program, which is a new employability-focused program that helps learners navigate how skills translate to careers, evaluate their work readiness for different jobs, and build job and career enabling skills. The key elements of their program are to explore job tracks, learn critical skills, understand themselves and how their interest, capabilities, and skills can ladder up into careers, and develop highly relevant skills and connect with real-time job opportunities. The program architecture here is built off a few key elements. The first is a deployment location, which helps us map in critical local labor market information. In this case, we were able to gain access and insight into the Bureau of Labor Statistics databases through our participation in the Opportunity Project, which we would then render into specific career and skills maps and help people navigate those maps and link to other resources. I'm going to drill down on what that looks like for the learner. In this case, if I was a prospective job seeker, what I'm highlighting, or what is being highlighted for me here, is the structure of jobs in a water utility. If you look at the entry-level jobs in this sector, there's a high degree of jobs that are available with low barriers to entry that are high school or GED enabled, but can ladder up to significant long-term opportunities. So as a user here, I interact with the system to understand career advancement along the y-axis and the different divisions of the industry along the x-axis. And each one of the nodes is a job that I can drill down to learn more about. So in this case, I will start to click through the map and understand how jobs are combined or laddered up into careers. In this case, as a user, I've identified a career path that spans from a maintenance specialist 1, which is an entry-level job in the industry, all the way up to a senior planning engineer over a 15-year job trajectory. So the object here is to identify both jobs that are available in the short term, but also provide inspiration for long-term career paths. Behind each one of these jobs is a complete description that describes what the job is, the salary range, entrance requirements, as well as featuring a day in the life of what that job entails, as well as the critical skills and requirements needed to be successful. We then use that skills framework to help link out to other existing resources or as needed new resources to help people gain access to the skills needed to power their careers. Lastly, once a learner has been inspired about a career path, gained some foundational skills, we can help route them through integrations with job boards to immediate job opportunities in their area. Lastly, thanks to the Opportunity Project, we got the inspiration to start building out an additional tool, the skills mapping framework, which instead of starting with the industry structure, starts with the skills DNA, the constituent elements, such as communication, Excel, and writing, and understand how those skills, once acquired, can ladder up into different career tracks. We are deployed with several partners today and really appreciate the Opportunity Project and all the volunteers for helping improve both our technology and our ability to connect with users.
Great. Thank you so much, Daniel. Really awesome to see how you've used data on this platform, especially to help people find jobs in rewarding fields that they maybe aren't familiar with. So thank you so much.